Hello. So I start every morning on Zoom with our campus pastors, and we do a morning devotion where we're walking through the Bible chronologically, and it is incredible. A few weeks ago, we were talking about the subject of pride, which all of us suffer from in some way or another. And I've been reflecting and meditating on that still, which is one of the reasons that this morning devotion is so amazing, is because it really leaves you with some topics that stay with you and God speaks to you through. So a little plug here. If you're interested in joining us, which please do, we have such a cool community and it's so supportive and encouraging. You can go to thejourneynorth.com and sign up, and we'd love to see you there. Anyway, as I've been reflecting, it really reinforced a thought that I've had for a while. And it is the catchphrase, if you will, that is coming from society right now, which is the statement that you are enough. Now, I think that the statement comes out of a place of wanting to reinforce self-worth and say that, you are worthy of love, you are a person of value, which I don't disagree with at all. So I'm not addressing the intentions of the statement or anybody's self-worth with this. But I think it's especially geared towards women, because throughout history we have been undervalued, mistreated, and seen as less than. So they speak this statement towards women: you are enough. Don't let anyone tell you you're not. You're enough. And how this played out for me is I didn't feel like enough. In fact, that feeling I'm not good enough is one of my deepest core insecurities. And failures and imperfections reinforce and feed that lie that I have inside. So I'm trying to counter that lie to begin with. And I'm being told constantly, you are enough. You are enough. And you don't need to do more. You are enough. But when I reflected inside for so long, I didn't feel like enough. And so then everyone's telling me I'm enough and I'm supposed to feel like enough, but I don't. So then I'm thinking, well, I'm not doing it right because I'm supposed to feel like enough. Everyone's saying I'm enough, so I must not be doing something right. Well, it would cause me to actually feel like I'm doing it wrong. I have to do it different. I have to work harder, longer hours. I have to sacrifice more. I have to give more. I have to serve more. Whatever it was, I wasn't doing any of it good enough. I wasn't a good enough mother. I wasn't a good enough employee. I wasn't a good enough wife. And it wasn't a good enough daughter-in-law or daughter. And it caused me to feel like I had to do more. And it put a lot of pressure on myself and really the relationships around me to validate that I was enough. So it created this cycle that actually left me feeling very empty and very self-focused about I'm not enough. Until one day, I made the realization that I'm not enough. And you know what? I wasn't created to be enough. We were created to walk closely with our Creator. And we weren't meant to be enough on our own. And by myself, I am not enough. And I can't ever work enough or perform well enough or look good enough to fill that hole inside that was never intended for me to fulfill by myself. And so it goes against everything society's telling you, is that you're not enough. When you find your identity in Christ, you learn He is good enough. And He fills all those spaces inside of you that don't feel like enough. And with Him, you can also be enough. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't have worth. That's not what I'm addressing at all here, because you have so much value individually, that the Creator of the universe came down to earth and was willing to die so that He can spend eternity with you specifically. So this is not about your value as a person and how much your Father loves you. This is just about the works that we do in this life to try to fulfill that statement that you're enough, when the reality is you are not enough. You weren't created to be enough. You were created to walk closely with God, and when your focus is on Him, suddenly you feel like enough, because you are. You're residing in Christ, who is enough. And so I just want to encourage anyone listening who has maybe encountered this pressure to perform, these insecurities of not living up, not being good enough, and to just tell you that Jesus is enough, and He's ready to walk closely with you so that you can feel like enough with Him. Have a blessed day.